Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Motorsport Republica in our new home, the Benzina Stables.
Here we go.
Thank you to the boys for having us.
Yeah.
So this is where horsepower sleeps, where you can see some beautiful cars and bikes behind us. And it's where Motorsport Republica talks.
Oh my God.
Our new home, eh?
It's
so
awesome.
exciting.
How cool is this?
It's a cool little setup that we've got happening.
Oh yeah. It's look at all the cars. We've got Ferraris, Porsches, Ducatis, Aprilias.
We're in our element, boys.
They do an amazing job here.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
incredible.
they're awesome.
The way it's set up, meticulous attention to detail is amazing. So if you're at home, if you have a luxury car or any car that you treasure, you can store it here. They have it ready for you. They can clean it for you. And you can take it out on any Sunday you want to.
Yeah, and you can see the podcast studio.
You can, yeah.
We'll see where the magic happens.
The workbench.
Boys,
awesome.
what a weekend, huh?
Austin.
Well, race of the season,
Yeah.
you'd say.
Race of the last couple of years, I reckon. It was amazing.
100%. I thought it was really good. For
Yeah.
a race that there was a lot of following, a lot of passing.
Yeah.
I thought it was not your typical MotoGP race. I thought it was really, really good.
Yeah, you said that when we were just talking before, Daniel, that there was a lot more following than normal, you know? Like it's obviously it's a part of the track. I don't know what it is, but
Some of those Marquez passes, and we'll get onto that later, was he just sent it.
Yeah.
And it stuck. Even those first two, like the first S
Yeah.
sector, like some of those passes were incredible. So
Same with Pedro, did the same thing.
great. I love a pass through there. Like it just makes the bikes look so cool, and it's just so aggressive. and
Yeah.
it was good to see.
Everyone seemed really aggressive, like they were really fighting for positions. You could just tell. But
How different was the sprint race to the main race?
the main race was 1,000 times better.
Yeah, it's crazy how different it was.
Sprint was a bit boring.
It was. It was nowhere near as good.
Bit of a snooze fest.
Yeah, a little bit.
I suppose it helps when Vinales goes back to 11th in the main race and then comes back. That was exciting. You could see him come through the field, and the progression through the race was insane. What about results for us, Stam?
Yeah, no stress. We'll start with the sprint results. Let me get them up. So top 10 in the sprint. Mighty Mav, Marc Marquez, Jorge Martin was your top 3. Pedro Acosta 4th, Aleix Espargaro 5th, Bastianini 6th, Miller 7th, Pecco 8th, Raul Fernandez 9th, and Franco Morbidelli 10th.
Wow.
So that was a sprint. Main race, Mighty Mav. First person in modern MotoGP to win on 3 different manufacturers. First, Pedro 2nd, Bastianini 3rd, Jorge Martin 4th, Pecco 5th, De Gea 6th, Aleix 7th, Bez 8th, Brad Binder 9th, and Raul Fernandez 10th.
Fernandez, 9th and the 10th. Good on him.
Yeah,
Chuck house, home race.
and
Home race, that's it.
How's Vinales? Obviously, it's crazy that he's won, and there's so much to unpack out of this for Mighty Mav. Like he won the sprint race, and then every time there's a sprint race, I feel like, all right, he's not going to win the main race. Like it's always such a different race, and then he gets punted out in the first turn, gets to 11th, and I'm like, oh, there is no way. It was paying $1.01 that he wasn't coming back, and then somehow.
Just flicked a switch, didn't he?
Turned
It's
into
like
the Mav of old, like when he first came into GP.
he turned in the 2017 Maverick testing Valencia test.
Yeah, legit. No,
That's all he did.
Look, it was actually awesome to watch, and same as you, I thought, oh no, that's it. See you later. He's going to just, take it and take whatever points he can. But for him to fight through the way he did,
There was so much action at the front as well.
Oh,
like
man,
there was so much going
Couldn't
on.
look away.
And then as soon as it started to calm down a little bit, then Vinales came through the field.
Yeah,
So,
and like it was like a hot knife through butter. He was carving through everyone pretty easily.
that Aprilia looked good, man.
I know, didn't it?
That looked so good on that track.
And this is the headaches that it now creates. Surely, obviously, Aleix is going. Like he's even talking about retiring himself. I think he's going to give himself to Mugello. Boot him now, I reckon. Massimo Rivola. Just put the boot into him. But like if Vinales is now, first question is he now a championship contender? It's such a knee-jerk reaction question asked, but we've got to ask it. And then if he starts getting consistent top 5s, consistent podiums or wins, how can you not then give him at least a year?
yeah, I mean, if he didn't have those issues in Portimao, he'd be right up there in the championship as well.
True.
He'd probably be leading.
Yeah, it'd be through a second, wasn't he? He was second?
Yeah, he was
Portimao race?
he was second,
Yeah,
and then
he was
he dumped it.
second.
And then
He was
gearbox issue.
catching.
Yeah.
He was catching Martin.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
he could have even won that.
So definitely, I think 100% championship contender.
Yeah.
And coming from the clouds. I mean, we looked at our tips from last week.
Yeah, we didn't have Pedro or Mav.
Yeah, that's true.
We didn't have Pedro or Mav. So that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Now, we obviously go into, I think it's Jerez in a couple of weeks. That's going to be, this is where we always say, it's the motto of Motorsport Republica, it's where the cream rises to the top. This is where we're going to see what happens. And I don't know, it's interesting. Like, Pecco was off again.
Yeah, struggled, I think.
He had braking issues.
Yeah, I think in
Front chatter or something like that.
wrong tyre choice in the sprint as well.
Yeah.
So, but that seems to be a common theme, the front chattering. Even I think Martin has complained about it every now and then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, well, some things came out today as well with Marquez. So he came out after post-race. I don't know if you guys saw, and he said he had some big brake issues.
Yeah.
And a lot of his passes were unplanned.
Yeah.
They were like shooting it up the inside. He didn't actually want to do that, but he had to. Just couldn't have any fuel on the front brake.
And he collected Martin at one point. He went right up the arse of him. And
how aggressive was Martin at the start?
Yeah.
That could have ended in disaster.
I know. So there is a lot to unpack in that race, but credit where credit's due to Mav. But I don't know. It's good to see obviously a Ducati not win. That's always nice.
Well, top two, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Martin, I think now has got a 20-something point lead.
I think it's 21, 22.
Something like that. And
they're all pretty close after that.
yeah, I think Acosta's in like the top 2 or 3 as well, or top 5 maybe.
I think.
Yeah.
We'll have to get the points up. But
What was interesting to me as well, top two
top 5.
Vinales and Acosta both had the medium rear.
yeah.
Pretty much the rest of the field had all the soft rear. I don't know if
Yeah.
that came into it at the end of the race as well, but that was, I wouldn't say a tyre gamble because we spoke about that, but I mean, a majority of the field I did think had the soft rear on. So that was an interesting point that I took out of it.
Yeah, no, for sure. And how good's a Pedro Acosta again? Like, seriously.
That would be normally number one talking point. Was how amazing he was, but there was just so much to unravel.
I know, he could have won that race. Like, he was passing everyone back. It was super aggressive, but
The kid's a jet.
he's a genius, isn't he?
Yeah.
On that bike. Like, Jack Miller, I'm sorry, mate, but that seat's gone.
It was gone after the first race of the year. I'm telling you.
But what happened to Binder as well?
Yeah, it just faded. I don't think
He wasn't really there.
typically been too strong here anyway.
Oh, fuck, I had him second. I had him second in my tips.
I think he crashed out of the race last year as well.
Yeah.
I think while up in the podium places, if I recall correctly. So I don't think it's a track that he's fond of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not
Struggled a
acceptable by
bit.
Jack. I mean, like, he was up there fighting for it in the first few laps and then finished 13th.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, race after race.
And then you got the young kid, Acosta, on a similar bike,
19.
and just tearing it up. So that's like the capability of the bike is there. Like, there's no question about it.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And obviously, Binder's been up there all year as well. Had a bit of a shocker throughout the weekend, but it's crazy.
I'm just waiting for when, we've done our tips, whatever. None of us have put a Pedro in because we just think he's a rookie. But now you have to, every race now you have to think, okay, he's a chance to be a
Vinales as
top
well.
5 or win. Yeah. Same with Vinales.
But how many people? There's 10 guys that can win a race.
There is.
It's crazy. I mean, we haven't talked about Bez. I mean, we haven't talked about Gia. Probably had a really good main race. He finished in 6th.
Yeah,
well.
stiff with the engine failure, but
Yeah, was it engine failure?
I believe so. There
Yeah.
was smoke bellowing out of it.
The commentators were saying it was
that's
a
right.
rubbing part, but it looked way too much smoke for a rubbing part. But
Yeah. Yeah, if it was, I haven't seen anything come out of it, but if it was, I mean, that's the first time in a very long time, and Ducati's done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, going back to your point, 11 race wins in a row from Ducati.
Yeah, wow.
So it's been a long time.
Yeah.
So more than half a season, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it.
So it is a good thing, and obviously the top two being no Ducati bikes. Martin not in the podium, Bagnaia not on the podium. Like, it was
it's
a wacky
crazy.
result, and
Yeah.
we do say Coda does throw up a
Yeah.
wacky result, but we'll see if Vinales can take it when we get back to Europe.
Oh, I hope so. Hopefully he's found something.
I hope so too, for his sake, and for the bike. I think it's a great bike, but I don't know, man. It's coming into these next races. I think this is just it's just going to open up for Ducati.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially Jerez. Pecco's shown to be strong. Martin's quite strong.
Yeah.
They're all pretty good. And then you got to throw Pedrosa into the mix.
I know Pedrosa's racing, isn't he? He's doing a wild card.
Yeah. So-
Give him at least a third, fourth, or fifth, I reckon.
But okay,
Original Alien.
if he comes out and just obliterates Miller, I mean, come on.
But he did last year.
I know.
yeah,
It's no surprise.
Fuck.
yeah,
Crazy.
He did it twice. He almost podiumed in
he did.
Misano.
I think he got fourth, didn't he?
Yeah.
Not like a real tight fourth.
Is there a chance there'll be a mid-season swap?
Something chronic's got to happen to Jack.
Yeah. Why would you upset the apple cart anyway on what he's already doing for Pedro?
Yeah.
Less pressure on Acosta anyway. Let him get used to it.
Yeah.
Fuck,
He's
not that he
already
needs
used
to,
it.
but,
take the L plate off his helmet.
But if he's podium, if he's up there and fighting for podiums every single race and Miller's finishing 15th, isn't it better for the KTM brand to have that kid and the factory 24 bike?
I don't think it matters because they're still going to sell just as much gas stuff, and
Yeah.
it's all good for them anyway. So
That's right.
they got their gas with Danny Holgado in the Moto 3 fighting up there, and not their KTM. So I don't think they're too worried about that. I think as long as they've got a bike in their group,
Yep.
that's their biggest concern.
They're on 23 bikes, the gas.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. They're on last year's bike. I'm pretty sure.
I've heard otherwise, but I really don't know. We should know. I should know, but I don't know.
I think they are on the 23 bike, but that would be, I guess they are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
So
I'll tell you now.
Are we all in agreement? Thirst trap performance of the week, Maverick Vinales coming through the field.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Have a sip.
100%. Mighty Mav. He's done it on a full tank.
Fresh.
Yeah. He's finally done it.
I was wrapped. Cool helmet too with the little Batman logo.
Yeah.
and
What's the
stuff.
Batman thing? Is that for his kid?
I don't know. Batmav.
Batmav. Watch out.
Yeah. He'll drop off in the next few rounds, don't worry about it.
Yeah, if he finishes like 15th in red, making it look so
Yeah.
silly.
I know, right?
But that's the whole thing. It's knee-jerk reactions, and we always do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But who knows? Maybe he's found a bit of form. And like I said, I keep saying it, I still think that's one of, if not the best bike
Yeah.
on the grid.
Yeah, you have said that. You have said that the whole
So-
time.
I'll stick to my word if anyone wants to berate me in the comments.
Dammy.
Number one ticket holder.
Oh, yeah.
News coming out as well. TKO had a bid to buy MotoGP.
Yeah.
200 million euros more than Liberty Media, and MotoGP turned it down. So that just shows how powerful Liberty Media is and their presence, obviously Drive to Survive and everything like that.
And
But
TKO own the UFC.
UFC and WWE. But it would have been cool to see, either Vinnie Mac, Vince McMahon riding around, or
I think he's
Stone
cancelled,
Cold.
isn't he?
Yes.
He's cancelled?
Stone Cold waving the flag.
Stone Cold waving the flag, stunnering Fabio Quartararo.
What?
Curtis, make a meme of that one, please.
That'd be like a Bagnai championship celebration. It just make you look like a fucking idiot. 3 points.
On a slam dunk. What a chooch.
I think, boys, I really do think this Liberty Media thing is going to be good for GP. And the other thing is they came out and they said, we're not doing major changes.
Yeah.
We're just going to make the sport better and we're going to make some minor tweaks. I think that's a really good thing they've come out this early and said that.
Well, I do like that. What the thing as well, it's almost like we had a sneak preview what it was. So I watched the end of the sprint race and they were, I don't know if you guys saw the podium, but they did a podium. They were like talking to the fans when they were on that podium and they were in front of this massive American flag. It was like the size of 2 double-story houses. It was massive. And, they're talking, they're yelling at the crowd. There was a massive sea of people there. Everyone was chanting everyone's name. And then as soon as they walk off, some like Spanish rapper just comes on and starts just rapping to this crowd. It was like being in an F1 race. It was wild.
Do you think that was a good thing?
I liked it.
Because there was a lot of hate online about that.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think it's something different. And that's the American culture as well. It's different.
Yeah.
How cool would that be if we were at MotoGP, we were there, and then some rapper came on and I don't know. I think that'd be cool.
It would be, yeah. Yeah, and it's something different. It's good.
Not a fan, Daniel?
I'd probably walk away.
Oh, come on.
Don't
Jim.
listen to rap, but
Arrogant
maybe it was the
Italians.
Spice Girls or something.
Kylie Minogue comes out.
Who?
Kylie Minogue. Andrea Bocelli.
Oh, I'll cry.
I would as well, actually.
Yeah, take the hat off, hand on the chest.
Yeah. Look, a Spanish rapper definitely wouldn't work in an Australian market, but
Jimmy Barnes, maybe.
yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Something would happen.
Get
but
it going. Cold
yeah.
chisel.
Something like that would be sick.
You know?
Well, this is the thing, though. This could be what the sport could be like in a few years'
Yeah.
time. We don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe a lot of the pushback would be from, and we always say that older crowd that's, you know, GP's not as refined as F1 in that sense. You know, it's not as upmarket. It's not as, well, not rockstar, but upper echelon, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think all those diehards about this isn't motorbike racing. It's, you know, like we muck around and say in the back of the camping grounds at Phillip Island, just sinking cans and.
But there's still a place to do that. You can still do that.
100%.
But I think it's needed. And it was good to see. And it was a lot more fan interactive is what I noticed.
Yeah, and more people need to find out about the sport. These riders are the craziest motorsport athletes in the world. 100%. Like, they are crazy. What they can do on a bike, like if you send anyone on a track day, on a bike, put them around a thing, you'd be fucking going so slow. You couldn't even imagine going at those speeds.
No.
Like it's just, and even like riders that, you know, you're pretty experienced on a bike and that sort of thing. If you hop on that bike, you'd be nowhere. Like,
no, you wouldn't even keep heat in the brakes or the tires, or you'd have to be. You're a pretty special someone to be on those bikes. Like,
what they do on those bikes, like, and we see it turn one at Phillip Island, like just tipping it in. Like, remember the rain, the wind. Like these guys are crazy. Like they are just so nuts, and you just got to appreciate that.
Yeah.
And even the guys we take the mickey out of, you know, they're still unreal.
Yeah,
like to be there, they're the best in the world.
Exactly.
Sure. Oh, I reckon I could be quicker than Taka.
I was literally just about to say Taka.
He's nowhere. But.
Japanese bikes, that was bad.
Okay, we haven't done our most. We haven't even talked about most impressive, biggest surprise, and
Let's do it now.
what was it? Most impressive, biggest surprise, and most disappointing. My most disappointing is Honda for that weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I think they almost all crashed. Marini, I think, was dead last again. I think they were last four in
Actually, do you have the
qualifying.
results up?
Yeah.
How far behind were they? Because like Marini was 47 seconds behind at Qatar. I'd be interested to see.
33 seconds in 16th.
16 out of 16 riders
Out of
finished
16,
that race.
yeah, in the race. In the sprint, they were 22 seconds behind.
Has he signed a 2-year deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So
He made his bed. He's got to fucking sleep in it now.
yeah, look, and hopefully they get their shit together at the second half of the season. But for that was just a putrid performance, man. At a track that, you know, they won last year with your boys. So that's my biggest disappointing. My biggest surprise, I just touched on it, I reckon, was the entertainment factor of Coda. I thought that was really cool and most impressive, obviously, Vinales.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You got one?
My biggest disappointment was probably Alex Rins. I mean, I know that we had, which I might play some audio from our, we'll clip this in.
Oh, no.
From our number one ticket holder, Mark Bandana Man Danby.
Daniel. You were so high and mighty on your pre-season prediction of Alex Rins winning at Coda. Yet he was nowhere to be seen in the sprint nor the race except for crashing out. I think you've been inflating one too many Denesi airbags, mate, and now you've popped your own. Get a clue on this MotoGP shit, will you? Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate it. Yes, he's right. He was seen in the gravel trap in the main race, that's for sure.
If he didn't crash, he won and won. So, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
That's my biggest disappointment because he did win on a fucking garbage bike
Yeah, on a
last
bucket
year.
of balls.
So
Surely he was coming in with confidence, Tom. Like, surely there was confidence there. Why did he do well?
Most impressive. Still, I'm just going to go. I really found the Pedro Acosta's race and in a whole total thing was amazing. Like, challenging from riders, you're very experienced riders, nursing the tires to a certain extent, and then biggest surprise was, of how exciting the race was.
Yeah,
because a sprint race was a bit of a boring one.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely was. Biggest surprise for me was Mav. Doing
fair. Fuck, that's such an easy one.
Doing the treble, pole, pole and both race wins. That was crazy. I mean, admittedly, Martin stacked it twice during quali. But still got to put it there. Still got to put it in the lap. What we got most impressive?
Mav again.
Mav again. You know what? Most impressive, Colin Vire in Moto3 got whacked 3 times or 4 times and still kept it up.
Yep.
Got punted off I shouldn't say punted off. He got hit real hard a few times. So that was pretty impressive to see. Alex Marquez has been my disappointment, to be honest.
Good call.
He's like,
He crashed from 6th, didn't he? So
he's been struggling a bit. So, but it seems to be a problem with that 23. Like Bez can't get a hold of it either. So it's a shootout between those two for biggest disappointment this week.
I like it. Miguel Oliveira's been nowhere this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Well, Raul Fernandez getting fit 9th.
Yeah, that shows you something. I'm fucking on somewhere with this bottom 5 for Miguel Oliveira in the championship.
Nah, come on, dude.
G'day, guys. James here from Motorsport Republica. Our brand new T-shirts have dropped. So we have Marquez, we've got Daniel Ricciardo, we've got Verstappen, Charles Leclerc in men and women, and a Gent Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence double champs tee. Jump onto motorsportrepublica.com.au. Check out our new tees. We've got air freshener still on there. Go on our socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. It's all on there. Make sure to check it out. All your support means everything. Thanks, guys.
Spanish rounds, but Spanish rounds.
It's be fucking Honda, Yamaha.
Yeah, I know, right?
Honda.
He should be doing better, though. He's on a factory bike.
Yeah, I know.
He's on the same bike as Mavs at 1.
Yeah, there's no excuse. There's no injury, we don't think. There's no problem with the bike because it's winning. But it shows, going back to Mav, like it shows he gets out in front and he dominates that sprint race. But then he does this surprising thing, comes through the field.
Yeah,
like that's
and
unheard of.
He never does that.
It's not just him being out in front winning. He came back and like when he was chasing Marquez and Acosta, he flicked a switch 9/10 quicker in the lap.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And then,
Good call.
and then at the end of the race, Acosta got back up to about 7/10. Boom.
Punched in a couple laps,
Couple laps, he was 2 seconds ahead. Like he had the raw pace the whole race.
He would have pumped him if he got out in front at the start.
Yeah,
no one would have seen
It
him.
would have been a different race.
100%.
It would have been boring as all shit.
That's probably why it was such a good thing that he went back to.
And that's a very
100%.
Coda thing to happen. It seems like there's not really a last lap battle that happens at Coda that I can remember. It's always just been Marquez out in front or Rins out in front.
True.
Even when Bastianini won, I think he overtook, was it Miller? I think.
Yeah,
With a few laps to go and then pulled out a lead.
Yeah,
So.
it hasn't been super tight. And tyres has always been a big thing in that as well. So
That's probably the other surprise for the weekend was Bastianini convincingly beating Bagnaia on Sunday.
He did.
So that was the other thing. And like on raw pace, same tyres.
And Martin.
Yeah.
You know, that's his 2 biggest opponents at the moment. You know,
He'll come good in Europe.
I hope so, man.
He's gonna come on real strong.
Yeah, good call. We're going to save our 2025 grid till next week's podcast.
Yep.
But the Bastianini, Martin, they're the 2 big things for me
Yeah.
next year where they're going. Because I think Bastianini is probably, if he has a really good few weeks in Europe, he might stay in that seat. Who knows?
It's, you're not going to know, I guess, until you get halfway through Europe.
They don't seem like they like each other, which is good.
No, I don't think they do.
No.
Well,
I
why
don't
wouldn't
think
you?
so.
They'll be so competitive. They want that spot. And Martin is hell-bent on getting a factory ride, which he deserves.
100% he does. I don't think it's going to be at Ducati though,
Yeah.
personally.
And the Marquez, I mean, we'll go through this next week, but then
Yeah.
also Marquez
There's
is in the
so,
mix.
there's
I know,
so
it's-
much to dive
It's,
into.
I've
Like
never seen anything like it.
And Marquez can't really go to KTM because like they're not going to get rid of Binder, and
And then you got
Costa's going to
Acosta,
go up.
and
so-
you'd rather have Acosta there than Marquez.
Well, 100%. He's like
But he's got to
younger
adapt.
version.
And he's got to adapt
Yeah.
to another bike. So it's,
Again.
it's another useless year.
Yeah.
Not useless, but
Pedro Acosta, for me, has overtaken Marc Marquez and anyone else as the most exciting Grand Prix rider in the world right now. Motorcycle racer, I should say, in the world right now. I don't think there's anyone more exciting. Every time he's up there in every race.
Him and Top Rack.
Yeah. Top Rack does throw some moves.
Yeah.
Obviously, like what he did in Barcelona, but just because he's 19, it's his third round, third race.
You flick it on a Sunday to watch him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You
his
do.
personality's awesome.
Yeah.
It's exactly right.
He's bringing similar to what we've seen with like a Rossi or even a Kevin Schwantz and Marquez when he was winning. Like, it's really good to have that back in the paddock.
It's great, and he's now, he's coming in at the perfect time. Liberty Medias has taken over.
Yeah.
He's got the personality. He's on a banging bike.
Yeah, he'll be the biggest winner out of all that.
He is going to be the biggest winner. Like, it's just timing's everything, and he's just I reckon won the lottery if everything goes well for him.
Yeah.
Strong team.
Strong
team,
and a team that just proven to throw money at racing.
KTM, that youth talent thing they have coming up through the ranks is incredible, and it's going to pay off for them with this kid.
It's a scary.
That's
thought,
the
man.
X factor they've been looking for. You know, it's
And they got
amazing.
plenty more of it to come through.
Yeah. Oh, look at David Alonso. You got Holgado,
Our boy
Jacob.
Rolston. Yeah.
They're all on like factory bikes, I guess you could say. Celestino Vietti in Moto 2. On Chu. Like, how do you even fit them all in?
It's going to be crazy, man.
Yeah. But Pedro Acosta, he's a star.
He is.
Yeah, he's pretty much, like you said, the face of GP at the moment.
Yeah. That's why people tuning in, as you said.
Yeah, 100%.
Great point.
And it's only going to get bigger, we think, with all this living media nonsense coming on. So,
I think so.
do you want to go through Moto 2 results, Sam?
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. Let me get onto it. Where are we going? Sergio Garcia first. Joe Roberts second. Furman third. Alonso Lopez fourth. Marcos Ramirez fifth. Dennis Foggia sixth. Iagura seventh. Jeremy Alcoba eighth. Aaron Canet ninth. And Celestino Vietti 10th.
Boom.
I didn't watch race, unfortunately. I didn't get time to. But I'm very, very happy to see Sergio Garcia in first place.
He is the man. And you know what? He's underappreciated.
But 100%.
He's so underappreciated. It's only his second year.
Mm-hmm.
He had an amazing rookie year, which no one else did coming up from Moto 3. Almost won a couple times. I don't know,
Crashed out at Phillip Island, I think, on the podium spots as well.
Yeah, and I think he did get a couple podiums last year, didn't he?
I think towards the end of the year, he might have got 1 or 2.
Yeah, so... and a really good ride. Like, he was up by 4 seconds. Yeah, he made a couple mistakes, but that just seems to happen at Coda. Like, it just pulls you in that circuit. And it's a 2-minute, 8-second lap time, whatever it is. Like, it's
heavy
long,
braking.
Yeah, long, hard track. So, amazing effort. And he's for sure one to watch out for and a contender in the championship.
I think he's leading.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
You know, so, and it was so good to see Joe Roberts up there.
Bro, biggest fan.
Yeah, he's cool.
He'll be at Trackhouse next year with all this Liberty Media
Has to
stuff.
be, doesn't he?
I think so.
Marketing.
I think it's done and dusted.
Whose spot is he taking?
Fernandez.
You reckon they'll keep Miguel on for a year? Yeah. I think so. But yeah, it's and I'm in. I want him to be at Trackhouse.
Yeah, me too. And it's actually good to see American Racing Team doing well in Moto 2.
Yes.
Because they struggled for a little bit there. So for him and Ramirez to be in the top 5, that's awesome. Bit of consistency for Joe as well. 2 podiums on the trot.
Yeah.
Like,
OnlyFans, let's go.
Oh, bro. I want their merch.
Their livery looked fucking
I did
sick.
see a photo, yeah.
Marcus Ramirez, I don't know if he was watching OnlyFans before because he's all like barred up or something, goes into turn 1, almost launches himself into the sky.
Oh, really?
Almost takes everyone out. Then he flicks it right and then almost launches himself again, has it all out of shape, and then like he drops like 10 places.
Look good, though.
Yeah, look good. But he was obviously watching. I wonder if they got a free account. Like they're sponsored by OnlyFans.
Surely.
Free subscriptions
That's
to
a
all.
fair question, though, isn't it? Yeah, they have to.
We'll have to bring that up at Phillip Island.
Yeah, well, next time we see Joe, we'll ask him if he gets a...
It's a good icebreaker, isn't it?
Yeah. We might clip this and try and tag him in or something like that.
Yeah.
100%, yeah.
And then get us a free...
get
or something.
Joe, Marcus, are you getting a free OnlyFans account? What are you doing?
If
it's all going to John Hopkins, I reckon.
If you need staff on the team, I'm available.
You can be the umbrella man.
I'll take it.
Oil him up. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Good to see Foggia have a decent result as well. I don't know, did he race well, Jim, or?
No, he was fourth. He was in the podium spots for a bit as well.
Cool.
So yeah, it was almost like his breakout race, I guess, because he's always been 15, 16, 17,
He's
18.
been nowhere.
So it was good to see him up there anyway. He rode really well, and he would have been stoked with that. And finally seeing, obviously you had Garcia as the outlier, but that group of like Guevara, Foggia, all those guys have done nothing, and Guevara's still done nothing.
Yeah, and he's not injured anymore.
Yeah,
so.
that's right. And he was the world champion that just beat Sergio Garcia in Moto 3. So
20th. Yeah,
nowhere. And then Foggia was up there. So hopefully he can keep that up with Dennis. He had Quartararo in his ear on the they must be good mates. He had Quartararo in his ear.
Yeah.
You're right about Garcia though. It is a hard jump from that Moto 3 to Moto 2 bike, and you look at the kids that have done it this year, and there's no one really performing.
And in his class as well. Like as I said, Guevara, Foggia, Like, is this under
Masia.
Masia. I'm sure the obviously the team owners like Hervé Ponchal would all see it. It's just not the media, I guess. It's besides obviously Motorsport Republica, we see everything. But he needs more raps.
Oh, it definitely
he's
does.
a star.
Definitely does. But you've always said it too. It does take a couple of years for people to get their heads around a Moto 2.
Alex Marquez.
Yeah, very rare that they're coming in straight away.
The only ones that do it straight away is your gems. It's your Marquez's, it's your Pedro Acostas. Rins did it to his credit. But, he still made a very successful career out of MotoGP at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. He's no slouch.
I think Tito Rabat went in there pretty
I think he did because
well.
he was like
But
a pretty hot commodity back then.
He just used up all his talent, unfortunately, in that Honda 600. And
He did.
nothing else. We spoke about that.
He's barely getting around the back of a bloody superbike grid.
I remember watching, and we spoke about Tito a couple of weeks ago. I remember that was when I first really started watching MotoGP every week, and I just couldn't understand how fucking bad he was going. Like, how do you be a champion in Moto 2?
That's crazy, isn't it?
And be so nowhere in MotoGP? Like, I just couldn't understand it. But it happens, and it's happening over the history. So they just can't handle the big bike or the pressure or...
They're burnt out, I think, as you said, Daniel. They could just be burnt out.
Yeah, he's put everything into that. Moto 2 seasons, but that was fascinating.
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, Moto 2, good race. Moto 2 racing has been great past couple of years. I know I keep saying it, but it was still an exciting race. Yeah,
the change over to the Triumphs. Been really good.
But I think Canet wasn't really there. I think he was top. What was he? 6th, 7th, 8th, something like that. Ninth. There you go. So, back.
Did he put on pole?
Yeah. He got beaten up in the first corner.
Did he?
There's about 17 different lines in that first corner, and they all just beat into that.
All three races, it was so hairy going into there.
And you can brake so late up that hill as well.
Yeah, that must be a tricky corner on a bike. I'd love to do a track day there.
I was thinking about that too, but just purely for the shot of the flag coming over the hill.
Oh,
that section coming down to before the straight, that's a hard section as well. Like,
that left-hander.
There's so many mistakes. Where Marquez crashed.
Yeah.
That's they brake so late there. You got to get the bike up quickly to get the power on. And like you'd see the different lines, some people running wide, then cutting back through. Really, really good track for MotoGP.
It's a great track. And that's the corner on the end of the back straight. You always see people running off. Like, no matter how good you are, they're still fluffing those lines.
Yeah.
And they get sucked in, obviously, with the aero or whatever. And it's a slipstream. They just miss their braking marker. So it's fucking incredible track.
It is. It's really, really good. Underappreciated, I think, a little bit.
Very much
Probably
so.
just need to work on the surface. I think they still have complaints about that, though.
Let them complain. We like that. It throws up a bit different result.
What's wrong with the surface?
I think it's a bit bumpy.
Bumpy as, yeah.
But I think even, correct me if I'm right, Tom, but I think the Formula 1 guys complain about it as well.
Crazy bad, yeah.
Oh, well, fuck. George Russell complains about a fucking mosquito on the bloody track, let alone... Get him on a bike, fucking puss.
Get him on the pod.
Yeah. Nah, George, you're right.
He's gone now. It's really nice to meet you, man. Really big fan. So unlucky in Singapore.
Yeah. Man, what Fernando did to you was so wrong. Well, that video of the lean angles and then George Russell at 90.
Fuck, it's so funny.
So good.
That's unreal.
That's a laugh.
Freaking puss.
He is.
Moto
3.
Moto 3.
We just did Moto 3. No. Oh, no, yeah, shit.
Come on, Chich.
Nah, I'm not French, but...
You're bloody European. What are you doing?
Nah. Fabio Quartararo.
Yeah, he's your number one man. Pearl necklace.
Yeah. David Alonso, domination. Danny Holgado, Angel Piqueras, Yamanaka, Munoz, Suzuki, Kelso, Ralston, Esteban, and Bertelli were the top 10.
Nice.
Aussie boys, top 10.
Shout out to the Republica boys, Kelso and Rulstone. Funny race for those guys, as in Kelso, they were both caught up in drama. I guess Kelso went up the arse of Holgado, like fucked his braking or something. I don't know what happened. Lucky to stay on.
Very lucky to stay on.
And then he crashed. He still had he had pace, Kelso. And then he crashed, I think, at the top of turn 1. But he remounted in like half a second. It was like a MotoGP remount video game.
Real slow.
Yeah.
I did see that. And he had a lot of space behind him, which was pretty lucky.
Yeah, that's right. So what did he finish? Sorry, Daniel?
Kelso finished
sixth, was it?
Seventh.
Fuck, it's not bad. And then Rulstone got caught up in heaps of drama in turn 1. Had to run wide, and then again at the whatever other corner
He
it was.
dropped down to like 15th at one stage when I checked.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think he had a long lap.
Yeah, I think you were saying that.
I'm pretty sure he had a long lap.
If he did, we'll say it because makes it a better story. But he got
incredible. I mean, you've got these guys
and he's never raced there.
They're fighting. These guys would be in the front pack to be fighting for the win if they didn't have any trouble, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
So there's some serious
exciting.
Kelso and Jacob. There's some serious.
Once they go
talent
back
there.
to Europe and they know these tracks better.
Yeah, you'll start seeing them come into their own.
I mean, obviously all the little Spanish kids will know the tracks as well, but
Yeah.
but that's where the real talent shows. you
Yeah,
know?
but I think Rulestone would have to be leading the rookies.
Oh,
points.
by a mile,
yeah.
I think. Or maybe with Piqueras having this podium, it might help him because he's last year's Red Bull Rookies Cup
He dominated by
winner.
over 100 points at Piqueras angle, and he's got the number 30. He looks like one. He looks like a young one Mir.
I was like,
Yellow 36.
Mir's probably better off to go back to Moto3 the way he's going.
Yeah, legit.
I did see that too, though. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I think with this he might be leading it, but he wouldn't be far off. He'd be pretty close to, pretty close to it.
How funny was it? Who was it? Otola? They crashed into it and he jumped on the wrong bike.
Jumped on the wrong bike.
How does that happen?
He must have just been pazzing. That's
was
Seedor's for you.
Freaking out. Yeah, Stefano Neppa's bike. Neppa wasn't happy, but
He was pulling him off, and oh god,
He would have been like, oh, cheers.
it's not the right bike.
you look at the how would they go like this?
Oh, bro.
Well, I saw him
funny.
running. I was like, oh my God, I thought he was just going to belt him because he got
That's what
taken
I
out.
thought.
And then he's grabbing him.
When they panned to the camera, I was like, that's not Otola's bike.
Bro, what happens? He rebounds, disqualified, obviously.
Yeah,
surely.
what does happen if that
Yeah.
happens?
Yeah, you'd have to.
Black flag.
Black flag,
Yeah.
yeah. You'd fucking realise by the time you throw your leg up on the
Imagine the
peg.
rider's like, what the fuck do I do?
But if you're freaking out as a Moto3 rider, like they all kind of look the same as it is. It's just
Yeah.
kind of different colors. But it'd be funny if you went from like a fucking red
Aprilia to-
Ducati to a Aprilia.
It'd be like turning on a fucking dive. What the fuck's going on?
Well, I think last year when Maverick and they swapped bikes, remember that they
Yeah,
swapped
they
bikes?
did.
They got fined.
That's so
I'm pretty
ridiculous.
sure. So there'd have to be something.
Yeah.
I would assume a black flag.
Hopefully Marini or something can crash into someone and take his old Ducati back. That's probably the only way he's ever going to do well.
Crash into Gigio, take his seat back.
Far out.
Poor
The way
dude.
Dawn would do it though, they'd be like, "Oh, come into the pit lane, get your other bike, do a
Yeah.
double long lap, and then keep going. You're fine." That's
100%.
Daughter.
That's-
Let's give you a
Sensible team.
5-place grid penalty next round.
Stop at the end of the pit lane for 15 seconds and go.
The last lap though in Moto3, that was unreal.
Yeah.
With Piqueras and Holgado, they exchanged some blows,
Yep.
man, and some good overtakes in
Great.
some weird spots.
Yeah.
That was fucking really good to see.
And it really, I guess that circuit as well, in all categories, lends itself to overtaking. There's so
Yeah.
many overtaking
Yeah.
spots. It's such a wide circuit. And especially in Moto3, you've got like you can
Different
get
lines
10
as well.
fucking abreast into
yeah.
a corner. Yeah, different lines. It makes a great circuit actually. Is
They
a circuit you
purposely
can make-
built that when they built the circuit. Like you'll see that they like even the first turn, it comes up here and then opens the apex, so you
Yeah.
can really chuck it in if you want to.
Yeah.
And you'll see that on a lot of the new circuits. So
I didn't realize to this weekend that it was designed by your. I knew it was designed by your mate Helmet.
Helmut
fucking-
Tilke,
and
yep.
Kevin Swans had an input into it as well.
He's
so
the man.
He is the man. He was there. Heaps of the American guys were there.
Yeah, they love it. I think they.
Yeah, Kanziski, Rainey,
Yeah, I did see that.
Schwantz,
Yep.
both Kenny Roberts Sr. and Jr. were there.
Nice.
It was the first time John Kanziski's been at a Grand Prix race since he retired in the late 90s. How crazy is
Oh,
that?
that's
crazy.
nuts,
Yeah.
man. Just
That's
took a step
crazy.
away
Yeah.
from it all.
Yeah, I guess so. He's done it like in Tony Lockett.
yeah, yeah.
Could ride a bike, that bloke.
Yep.
Tony Lockett?
Yeah, Tony Lockett can as well.
Yeah, actually, I think he used to. Did he race?
He does the think. He did the think. I know
Yeah,
he
there
did the
you go.
think.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. Country boy, but mate. Speaking of Wayne Rainey, I didn't know he was running Moto America. So I think that's why I'm
Started
putting two
to.
and two together. That's why it's doing so well. So
That means good hands to be in.
yeah, and he obviously knows what he's doing. And it's cool. This brings me back to the conversation that we had about giving back to your country in the sport. Like he's giving back to it, bringing back Moto to America to where it was, with Matt Mladen or, Ben Spies, whatever it is, where it was huge, and then getting that younger talent to Europe. And I think that's just cool to see. And it's good to see Americans doing it as well because it's such an untapped market. Obviously, with
100% it
Liberty
is.
Media coming in, it'll be great as well. But you still need boots on the floor. you know, like a Wayne Rainey doing that, and that's great. It's great to see.
Yeah, and they had some big names doing the stunt shows and that. That guy that we watch quite a lot. I sent you a video of him. What's his bloody name? Let me get it up real quick.
Stunt show?
Yeah, they had stunt shows in the paddock and that.
Yeah, yeah.
That guy that rides all the... Is it Colton? Does the bike builds on YouTube and that as well.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Might put
I saw like all the black lines in the donut, like black lines from all the stunt shows. Obviously they do. But
Come on, bro. The listeners can smell that.
Yeah, sorry guys.
That's what happens when you drink sparkling thirst trap.
Yeah, it makes me burp. Hey guys, it's James from Motorsport Republica. Just want to give a shout out to HJC Australia. They have a brand new helmet coming out, the R for 12. Make sure you head down to your local dealer to check it out. It's got max defogging, 4 intakes, 3 exhaust vents. It comes with 4 different shell sizes and 5 different liners. It's got lift force and drag force reduced, optimized air ventilation. This helmet is an awesome new street helmet. Make sure you check it out. Go to hjc.com. Go to your local dealer and you better grab yours today. Thanks.
Where did I send it to you? Where are you, James?
I don't even remember you sending it to me. Normally you send me some very other controversial things on Instagram.
No, because he had a sick T-shirt on.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. I had like the old school Grand Prix shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
here we
dope.
go. Wait if it wants to load.
Come on, Cheech.
Oh, man, I got Aaron Colton.
Aaron Colton. Yeah, I remember now.
So you have some pretty big names like doing stuff around the paddock as well.
Yeah. That's
So
what it's so. They just do it. They do it so well.
Had the baggers there.
Baggers there.
Troy Herfoss, man.
Shout out.
Fucking won the challenge in race 1.
God, it's
and I
amazing.
think he finished second in race 2.
I saw him walking around the on the grid. He was behind Pecco taking photos and shit.
Yeah.
I was seeing
That's
his,
so
his
cool.
Indian hat. I was like, it's Troy Herfoss.
Yeah, he's a legend, man. It's good to see him doing well over there also.
Yeah, it's so good
Man,
for you.
great.
And some cash as well. Injection of cash. He deserves
yeah,
it.
of
Bloody
course.
Yeah.
100%.
I think he won $5 grand or
money,
something,
man.
$5 grand bonus when he won the first
Yeah,
race.
that Challenger race.
Yeah.
We could move too to win. I can't remember if it was that or the race 1. It was
How
a
do you-
really, really good move.
How do you
up the
watch?
inside.
How do you watch it?
I'm not too sure with AMA. I think it's I think they've got their own sort of stream.
Yeah, it'd be cool to watch the race. I mean, they're so big and bulky at the front, aren't
Oh,
they?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's nuts. Did you speaking about seeing people on TV? Did you see pod favorite Joe Marinello?
Was he on TV?
Yeah,
Oh, was he on the TV?
Bullfrog. Yeah,
Of
he was
course.
there.
He didn't get on the fucking grid, did he?
When Kelso stacked, and they
he's
they
in the
went
grid
they
box.
went to his pits. He was in the pit box.
Good on him.
That's
Bro, that would
mad.
have made his weekend.
That's fucking mad.
What Mr. ASBK?
This day is BK. Self-proclaimed.
He's a good dude, but
He's great, dude. I love Joey.
Friend of the pod.
He is.
yeah, that was funny. But yeah, all in all, like Moto3 was a great race.
Yeah, it always is. And I can't wait for it to go back to Jerez. It's always a...
Yeah, back to normal time as well. Fucking
mint
6
race.
a.m., 5 a.m. sucks.
Yeah, it is a lot better being at like 7 p.m. on a Sunday night for us Aussies anyway.
Yeah. Oh, it's the best.
Maybe a bit of a watch party.
Yeah, we're going to have to do something soon, so...
So a couple of
organise
weeks for
that.
her rest.
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So, rumours, boys.
Chuck 'em at us.
All right, so first one. Honda have approached Lucio Cecchinello to take Alberto Puig's spot running HRC.
I like it.
It's interesting.
It's very interesting.
He's got a lot of obviously experience, but I guess what would happen to his team, because that's his team.
KDM get another team in.
Or Honda lose a team?
Does it really make a difference?
Yeah, true, but you need 4 Hondas.
So does he owns that team?
Yeah.
So how is he going to be a team principal of the factory Honda team when he has his own team?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just doesn't make sense to me.
I think he'll probably still run LCR.
Yeah, there has to be. There'll be something. Honda need to try something anyway, and he's obviously proven to create a good team. He's been doing it for years.
Well, if he employed like a team principal, I suppose, for his own team, and then overlooked both, I mean that could be it. I think. But
It's still HRC. It's not like he's doing Yamaha and Honda.
true?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been watching that NASCAR series, and There's it's a Joey Logano, I think. He races for another team and then owns another team. So it's exactly the same situation.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
So it does happen in world sport. But
Yeah, Rossi kind of did it to a degree. He raced for Petronas and Yamaha, and then he had VR46.
Yeah, it's fair play. I'd like to see it happen. I think it could be good refresher for Repsol.
Yeah. And then
definitely.
And you got Lynn Jarvis leaving as well. So
bro, about time. Jesus, that was
he's
long
been there
overdue.
for years as well.
Donkey's years.
So they need to change up. Those Japanese manufacturers need to change up, and it looks like it's happening. So that's good.
Yeah, it's like putting in like in the AFL, bringing in a new coach.
Yeah,
looking at it differently. I think that's a really, really good thing. They need something different. Like they need a whole new approach. So.
Yeah, they need a new injection of just a different way of thinking, I guess.
Who would have thought like these Italians are just going to be so more technically advanced with aero and stuff like that? Like you'd think the Japanese would be that'd be a
they'd be
height
on it. Yeah,
onto it. Like it's just been so left behind. You got to remember this has all happened in the last 2 years. Quartararo won the World Championship, and then boom. After that, it's just changed completely.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
And they've been building Ducati like for years and years since DeLingua came in. Like I remember seeing the bike overhaul from 2012, I think, to 2013 or whatever it was. It really changed, and then you could see it just
the development of the bike really shot up.
Just as a physical standpoint, anyway. But the problem with Ducati was it was just going up against a prime Marc Marquez.
Yeah, that's right.
Through those later years, you know.
Yeah, take him out and
they would have won.
Maybe
titles.
Lorenzo wins a title.
Yeah, or Dovi.
Dovi, yeah.
You know. But speaking about him, he had a mad MX crash.
Yeah. Do you know what happened?
I don't know, man.
Just trying to double a double.
Probably.
So both the old teammates at Ducati, Petrucci and Dovi, both had massive offs. And I think Petrucci looks even worse.
Conspiracy, you reckon?
So
it's got to be some sort of,
something in the water. Dovi he was unconscious. They got pretty worried. So obviously big head knock.
Yeah.
And then Petrucci busted his jaw, shattered a few teeth, busted his collarbone. He was much worse off. Another MX accident. So pretty crazy.
Fucking motocross, man.
But it's good to see that they're up and running, all good.
Yeah, they're okay.
People forget, man. In his hospital bed and on
he
liquids, and he looked fucked. Yeah,
he'll be out for a while.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But people forget how dangerous this sport is, whether it's road racing or dirt bikes, whatever it is. Like it's still so dangerous. Like.
Yeah, no especially you are.
There's no halo around you or roll cage or whatever it is.
I know it's body, ground. That's it. There's no protection. It's crazy.
Yeah. What do we think with Yamaha and possibly Pramac going to Yamaha? There's talks of that. There's talks of Iannone heading over. What would be really funny? This would make me laugh so hard. Is like, what's his name? He's useless. Morbidelli. He finally gets away from Yamaha. He's in Pramac. Goes back to Yamaha.
only way he stays on the grid, I think.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. But is that feasible? Because Ducati have I think, VR46 has basically said that they want to stay with Ducati, and they have a clause to sign. So it sounds like they're going to sign with them. Now Yamaha are trying to get a satellite team, and I don't think there's enough room for all these Ducati teams, and then Pramac are maybe entertaining the idea as well of going somewhere else.
Yeah, I think they are, and I think it could happen. But as you mentioned, a lot of the Ducati guys are actually contracted to Ducati, not the team.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like Furman coming up, he's contracted to Ducati.
True.
And I think that's that sort of loophole you were talking about with VR46. I believe it's, and someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm 90% certain that 99, I should say, that I listened to it over the broadcast. They are contracted to Ducati.
Nah, you're right. I think you're right.
Furman's definitely signed to Ducati.
Yeah, he's signed to Ducati, and I think same with DGR, Bez, and Pecco.
Morbidelli maybe is the outlier there.
I think he is, and I think so is Bastianini and Martin. I think they're just contracted to where they are.
The team.
The team.
Because if I was Ducati as a business, and look, you'd want to reward Pramac for their loyalty. They've been there. They've been there through the dark days, you know. So I can really understand that. But for a business to have VR46 as the new factory bikes, you know, to bleed that talent through, and then have factory Ducati, that's where the money is, isn't it? You
That's where it makes the most sense.
Yeah, that's right. It actually makes more sense for VR46 to be in Yamaha, as your bloody boss is the fucking ambassador for it, but it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen until they get their shit together.
Yeah.
Well, I heard some rumors, and I don't remember the source, but like BMW coming in to MotoGP.
Yep, 2027.
And VR46 going over to BMW because Rossi has affiliation with BMW.
Oh,
with
I
his,
haven't heard that.
With
that makes sense
his sports car. So that could be another avenue where VR46 signed for Ducati till 2027, and that's how BMW come into the comp as well.
This is a crystal ball moment right there. It's save this, save this.
It's very much a
But
possibility.
that's another possibility. And I don't know where I read it, but I just...
Nah, to say you made it up.
Yeah, actually, no, that's my call.
T-shape special.
But who knows? Like that sounds legit as well.
Well,
So-
yeah, I think they're wanting to come back in
And
strongly.
the BMW market in the States is
Oh, it's
huge.
massive.
Bikes and cars as well, like massive. Like they're a big company in the States. So that's another another avenue. I think coming into an already established team would be a smart idea as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's better look for the brand as well, especially if they got a decent package available. I mean, they're really starting to shift their focus even in WSBK. If you look at their bike, out of everything in that paddock, it looks the most like a GP bike, the way that it's put together. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's a great call though.
Probably have to get on pod favourite Damo Cudlin.
Well, he's got some stories about that.
Yeah, he was involved in the original.
Yeah, they
plan
nearly
for
did
them
it,
to
didn't
come in.
they?
Yeah.
They just pulled the trigger the last second. Well, didn't pull the trigger. Well, yeah, I guess they pulled the trigger to come out at the last second.
The story
Yeah.
got cut off. You guys had to go back to Melbourne.
Yeah.
That was fucked, man. What a trip.
But yeah, it would make sense. Hit up an established team. You look good. You know, if
Yeah,
you bring
and
some results, it's good for them.
But
it's good for
Yamaha
you.
need a second team. They need
They
a
do.
satellite team.
They absolutely do.
Because they just can't.
They're
not gonna-
going nowhere.
They're going nowhere. And it's so important now to develop the bike.
But that's the thing, you know, if you're Pramac or your VR46, like, why would you want to do that? You know?
You know you're not going to attract any decent riders as well.
Nah, everything,
You're getting kickbacks
Yeah.
of people who don't have contracts in better teams.
yeah, until Quadrara or whoever's on that bike develops it, and then, then you do get the talent through, as we see with Ducati right now. Like, you've got amazing talent on those bikes. But if you're like Jorge Martin or whoever on Pramac now, or Bez, you know, you don't want to go to Yamaha.
No way. Absolutely not. Any one of those guys, ask Alex Marquez or De Gea, I'm sure they wouldn't want to jump on a Yamaha either.
No way.
You know, especially Alex, he's done the hard yards on the Honda.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting.
I can
to see how it
see
all plays out.
I can see Pramac going to Yamaha though, and then VR46 taking their spot.
I think that's most
What,
likely
yeah,
scenario.
I don't think it's what makes sense. Like, but VR40, I'm sure Valentino has so much pull in that paddock that he can kind of do what he wants anyway.
Yeah,
He's done
pretty
so much for the sport that what are they going to say really?
Yeah, they
He's
can't
probably the
say
only one that
much.
can get away with all that as it is, you know, having a Ducati team but a Yamaha ambassador.
And I think Liberty Media coming in as well would see Rossi as the king of MotoGP, and then
That's right.
That'll
They'll play on that too.
Yeah.
They'll,
They'll play on that,
want
100%.
him to have a good team and
True,
be up there
true.
fighting for their sake as well.
And
It's
you
a
know,
good point.
that's right. And then you're gonna have them fight for a title, and you know, possibly winning a title. You know, Martin was so close to doing it on Pramac. Imagine if it's a VR46, you got all those Rossi fans.
VR46 and one of his academy riders.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's the ultimate.
Yeah, it's the ultimate. Really is for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think the field's too strong for that though.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Pecco? He's had an up and down start to the year.
Typical, but
It is typical, but he's supposed to be on that glorious GP24.
I still got that gut feeling he's just going to come and trump everyone. I don't know why, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it last time. I said I don't want to feel that way, but it's just such a strong gut feeling for me. I really hope I'm wrong, but I just think he's going to come out in Europe and.
I don't know. I've got my doubts. After the past two rounds.
I hope I'm wrong. I really
Yeah.
do. I really want to see good racing and I want to see a tight championship and someone else win it. But I don't know. I just got this feeling it's going to come there. They're tracks that are more comfortable for these types of guys and it'll just dominate.
What do you think, Tom?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was interesting. At the main race, he got up to third and he looked strong. And I thought, this is another Bagnaia pulling it out in the bag on a Sunday. And then he just fell back through.
Which is very unlike him.
So unlike him. So, yeah, that was a turning point. A big turning point in the season for me was that probably 8th or 10th lap. I'm thinking he's going to go to the lead and he's going to go out and win.
Yeah.
But he just didn't do it. So, and God, I found myself not being happy about that. I used to be a massive Bagnaia fan, but it's crazy. I'm cheering for Marquez now.
Yeah, you've got problems.
I've got mental health problems.
100%.
Put me in the oven, I'm fucking cooked, bro. Fuck. Like, seriously, I couldn't believe it. And I'm thinking, God, come on. And Bastianini passed it. I was cheering. I was just, God,
You love to hurt yourself.
And I was disappointed when Marquez went down. I was like, what the fuck's going on with me?
See, I was happy when he got in the lead, but then I was even happier when he crashed out, to be honest.
I know we haven't even spoken about that, really, but I can't believe he fucking
what
crashed.
did he do, mate? Crashed out of the lead. Typical, but Marquez ends up in the couple
it
of
At Coda.
It is.
But yeah, brake
fucking
issues,
bullshit.
though. Had back brake issues from all reports. So, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing some pretty crazy things, third racing on that bike.
I think he would have had some damage as well with Miller. That impact with Miller,
arrow
damage.
wing or whatever
definitely
came
looked
off.
blue that was coming off on the tarmac.
Didn't seem to phase him until he crashed.
But
that would have affected his stopping power as well with the lack of aero.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's
That
true.
makes a big difference.
Iannone now the target for MotoGP. Is he coming in?
He's going back.
He's too much of a rock star.
Oh, dude, he couldn't even go in. He was such a flog.
And what about in Philippine, like his first race back in that many years and
I
the
know.
superbikes, and he had such a good weekend.
And all he did over his time off was just model and fucking
Plastic
drink
surgery.
cappuccinos and plastic surgery, I reckon, yeah.
I found a bloody world-class girlfriend, but isn't she like a bigger celebrity than him in the
Yeah,
I think she
in
is.
Italia?
She's a big
singer or something.
yeah. Pop
So
star or
that's
something.
good on him.
It's so funny as well because we're all like rubbing shoulders with him at the after party, and people in Italy are probably, would die to do that, and we're just sipping on beers, too
just
scared to
chilling.
talk to him.
Bro, that's such a sleeper, that pub upstairs on a Sunday night. I can't believe we missed out on that our whole lives, seriously.
Yeah, don't talk too much about it, but
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. No, it's not. At the other pub. At Wing Ho's Chinese restaurant. Actually, I don't know what that busy either. We'd lock.
we lock. Yeah, I know, right?
That
but-
was a good night, that. But yeah, I think he'll go back across.
yeah,
It makes sense.
And he's going to take any bike, I reckon.
Yeah, he just wants to be back there.
Yeah.
And I think you could tell, and I'm sure you guys, we were all there, seeing him walking around the back of the paddock. He didn't look like he.
He's a
sort of-
rock star, man.
Yeah.
And like I like him because he just seems like a bit of a flog.
Dick.
Yeah, and that's why I like him. Apparently, from like all reports, like from reporters, like he's the hardest to deal with.
Yeah.
He's intimidating.
He is, yeah.
He's not approachable.
Not approachable at all. No. And he didn't want to take photos with anyone. Like,
Nah,
we were
only, like,
walking
hot
past
chicks.
him. We were walking past him taking photos as he was walking and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
But like Quartararo is the same. Like Quartararo is like hates photos and hates the attention, but seems like the nicest guy on TV. So everyone's different with the media.
Oh yeah, you're just gonna be. Yeah,
You don't
that's
see
right.
him all weekend, MotoGP weekend.
I've hardly ever seen him at Philippines.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you like Marquez, you see heaps of. But anyway, we're going off track here. But yeah,
No, it's true. What else we got? Is that it for GP, boys?
yeah. I mean, I got some points for F1 if Dan's.
No, I got
Yeah.
nothing for GP.
Big news, obviously, Fernando Alonso signing, which is crazy. So it's going to take him to, I think, 44, 45 years old, this contract. So, yeah, it's really exciting for them. I saw him finishing his career at either a Mercedes or a Red Bull, but I was wrong. So,
I think a lot of people, though, would have thought the same. I thought the same. I thought he had that Mercedes seat in the bag, but what do I know?
but yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it really opens the door for Carlos Sainz to sign at Mercedes, and that's
Yeah, I
been
heard that.
obviously rumors all week with that happening. I don't know. It's just I still feel like they should sign a young kid, but we'll see what happens. Return China, first time in 5 years.
Yep.
We touched on it last week.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
was gonna say, I'm excited to
It's
see
a
it
great
back.
track, and like watching some pre-race stuff, the crowds have been terrible there. One of the cheapest Grand Prix to go to in the world. Tickets are like $60 for the weekend.
Are they like allowed to go there, or are they stuck in the Amazon factories?
making iPhones.
Yeah.
I don't know, but anyway, this will be the big thing. If the crowds are huge there, I don't even think Netflix is allowed in China. Is it?
This is a great point you're making right now because it's such a Western thing.
YouTube's
the
not
F1.
available in China.
No.
You can't watch YouTube.
It's called TubeU.
RedTube. So I don't.
Curtis is. I'd be watching all these reactions.
We'll link the link to that one down here. But I don't know if Netflix is available. I'm doing my Donald Trump here. I don't know if Netflix is available in China. So if we'll find out about this, but this will be the telling. If this has got massive crowds sold out, that's amazing.
Can't trust them, but because I swear they just like ship people in there just to make it look busy and what it is.
True.
North Korea do the same shit.
Yeah, true.
It's true though. It's actually.
There's the corner. There's a long sleeping right-hander onto the back straight, and they have a massive grandstand there. It would hold probably 10,000 people. No one sits there. They put advertising boards up because no one wants to go. Never sold tickets there.
This is such an interesting conversation.
If it is busy, that is I mean, we already know how fucking popular F1 is, but that would be a big sign that they've taken over the world.
I think it's gonna be just because China would want to. I don't know actually. Maybe it might. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't know. Like how it's on Netflix, how they watch it over there. I'm sure they do. Like they're not that. They're not that.
Put that in search engine. Is Netflix available in China?
This could be like the most ridiculous question.
Why Dan does that big thing as well? Sprint race weekend.
Oh, in China.
In China.
No, it is not. You have to have a VPN.
Can you search Jamie from Joe Rogan? Can you search is Drive to Survive? Can you watch Drive to Survive in China? That's my next question. Or is it on TubeView?
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming if you can't watch Netflix without a VPN.
Or they might have it on like a Chinese streaming service. They might have their own one. I bet you they do. They've got their own everything.
There's nothing to say.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do have VPNs there. So, but again,
but then you still gotta find out about it. It's like it'd be funny if you just see like armed guards just like pushing people into each grandstand.
To give you an idea,
did he mow?
To give you the sheer size of Shanghai, it's the same population as Australia in one city.
Crazy.
Like it is crazy. So there's no excuse to not have a big crowd there.
Well, there is because I don't have Netflix or fucking anything. So
yeah. I mean that's the thing. They just don't have the access.
That's a great question. That's so interesting.
Well, it was interesting that my mate...
They blur out the cars, like the tentacles.
Oh, true. We're talking about Red Tube again? So the other really big thing for me this weekend is the battle between Red Bull and Ferrari. So I reckon, I have a funny feeling, and my tips will reflect this, which we'll post in the next few days. I think Ferrari are going to have a really strong weekend.
I hope so. They seem to be doing well, and they haven't really put a foot wrong so far. So maybe it's changed for him.
Let's hope. Just not another domination, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they got more upgrades coming, Red Bull. So who knows? Mercedes have to do something. Like it is becoming a disaster year for them.
It's a joke, isn't it?
And they looked. I mean, as I said last week, I mean they looked good in practice one, and then just fell through the
race pace.
So, yeah. And then my final point. Just to rush through everything really quickly, is the 2025 calendar being released. Australia back first race of the season, which is super exciting. 16th of March, I believe.
Reasoning for that?
Ramadan.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
So Bahrain and Saudi Arabia are now the 4th and 5th race of the season. So
nice.
It's going to be really interesting. And the other thing is, it's earlier for us in Australia. Earlier in the year, might be some nicer hot weather.
Fuck, it was already hot enough, buddy.
Good luck getting a ticket of that.
Yeah, I know. Ferrari, Hamilton out, that's going to be the first race of the season. So it's going to be really interesting.
Just go sit on Lygon Street, I reckon.
Yeah.
Better off.
No, I don't know.
One or two ways.
Yeah, I don't know. It could, yeah. I mean, it's going to be a disaster. That's what I reckon. But because you're racist, Italians.
Mussolini and shit.
Rightly so, you reckon?
But no new races for next year. It's all the same. All the same races.
It's pretty stagnant, isn't it?
Yeah, just jumbled up. I mean, they can't really put any more races in. So
working on a few more American tracks.
Yeah, I know, right? Chicago coming in eventually or something.
Yeah, Chicago Street Circuit. Yeah, London Street Circuit's coming as well.
It's changing. It'll be interesting to see what Formula One looks like in 15 years and what circuits have got in. Like if they're talking about, was it London, Chicago, and there's one in Madrid or something, isn't there?
Well, Madrid's gonna replace Catalonia.
Not the worst, to be honest.
Catalonia
That's a shit bus. That's a shit F1 circuit.
Yeah.
It's good for GP, but you've always said that. You've said that since we were kids, that Barcelona was a shit F1
It's a motorcycle
track.
circuit.
It is.
It's a long sweeping like corners. That's a motorcycle circuit.
F1
Even the first corner is a sweeping chicane. Like,
F1 used to go to Jerez, didn't they? For a few years.
Yeah.
Fuck, imagine them there now.
But they're so small. The cars were so much smaller back then.
Yeah, that's right. Couldn't go there now.
Yeah.
There's a famous 1995. The top three all had the same time in qualifying. Very famous.
I remember
Very
watching
famous.
something on
And
that.
I have a theory. I reckon that's impossible, and there would have been some timing issues because they got the exact
Transponder issues, you reckon?
100%. Like, how does that happen? Heinz Harald Frentzen, Michael Schumacher, and Damon Hill.
Fuck. This is... He remembers a lot of obscure things, and that's the tears, obviously.
Couldn't tell you what I had for dinner last night.
It's the seed oils.
That's the margarine.
Yeah, that's it for me for F1.
That's a good point. I'm still just hung up about this Chinese thing. That's my problem.
Yeah.
That's so
I can see your
interesting.
brain ticking over about it. Yeah.
If FP1, I'm going to be glued just looking at the grandstands.
And the other good thing, China,
They got a Chinese driver though.
Yeah, that's the other difference as well. It's a nice, friendly 6 p.m. race time for us as well, which is nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I mean, we like probably a 9 and 10 o'clock, but that's all right.
10 p.m. is the best, and then 11 p.m. for an F1 race.
Too late.
Too late.
Because you've got to
hours.
remember,
So much shit can happen.
a MotoGP race is 45 minutes.
Exactly, it's 2
F1
hours
race
for
can
it.
be 2 hours.
Or an hour and a half these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
I reckon they've gone
quicker.
half an hour quicker.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially because there's less. Normally, there's less crashing now.
Yeah, and
less mechanicals.
They're faster. They're so much faster. So.
Yeah,
Man, this place is remarkable, huh?
yeah, it's great. I've been
Benzina
looking at
stables.
this Mustang and Curtis's V2 Street Fighter.
I've been staring at Curtis the whole time, to be honest.
He's just had his head in his hands the whole time. El Kebab turn 2. Curtis. He can't hear me.
He's already rendering out the pod.
He's put his music up. If you are around, though, listeners and viewers, please come down to Benzina's Car and Coffee this Sunday, the 21st.
Yep.
I think from 9 to 1.
Yep.
We'll be here.
Yep.
You can actually come and take a photo in our podcast studio if you like.
Yeah.
We'll have some merch up, and we're just sort of putting our little space together. But yeah, come check it out. It's awesome. There'll be DJs and all different vendors and some pretty sick cars and bikes floating around. So hopefully we will see you guys on Sunday.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh, and the drags as well. We're going to the drags Friday night.
Yeah, Jesus.
Shit, before I
We've
forget.
overbooked ourselves this week.
We're pretty chockers this week.
Yeah.
So Calden Drags is going to be some roll racing and some bikes, some cars. Again, we're going to have a tent set up. So if you're around, I think it's $30 entrance fee. We're partnering with Highside.
Phil, shout out to Phil, good guy.
Yeah.
Legend. And keep an eye out for Phil's shop Highside, because there will be some of our merch dropping in there soon also.
100%. And then a couple of weeks as well, we'll probably elaborate more next week. We're going up to Queensland's. Go to ASBK at Queensland Raceway. We'll be there all weekends. Got hopefully a few cool interviews to do as well, which we've teed up. It's going to be fun to watch some more racing.
Absolutely. See some good friends from the pod. Hopefully if we can get Damo back on.
Yeah, pod favourite.
Cuddo.
We'll
He's
hear
the
more
best.
about this MotoGP BMW story.
Yes, 100%. He might have an inside word on that. T-Shabs might have opened a can of worms.
Standard.
Well, yes, special shout out Lukey, Luke, Christian, and Adrian, the guys. Fucking thank you. This is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
it's really cool.
Yeah,
Very
Appreciate it.
legends.
It's very exciting for us. So, thanks, boys.
Easy as, fellas.
Yep.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Bye.
Leave that in.